Most of the information in this video is based on theories. While researching the story, we also used the books from the game series. Even though the books and the games take place in different universes, they helped us in certain areas. Also, before we start the video, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Now then, enjoy the video. In the 1970s, the first Fredbear's Pizzeria was opened by William Afton and Henry Emily. These two were both close friends and business partners. After opening the venue, they built two robots for the restaurant, the ones we all know as Fredbear and Spring Bonnie. Inside these robots were mechanisms called spring locks. Spring locks would lock in place when no human was inside, allowing the animatronics to move. Similarly, when a person was inside, they would unlock, allowing the suits to be worn as costumes. Now, let's get to know our protagonists. Our first character is William Afton, also known as the Purple Guy. He has 3 children. We'll get to them in a bit. Henry Emily, on the other hand, is a father to 1 child and William's partner. After making a lot of money from their company, Fazbear Entertainment, the duo opened a second restaurant. Here, we meet new robots, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. These new animatronics were more colorful and fun compared to the old ones. However, the danger was still there, they also contained spring lock mechanisms. Let's return to the story. Henry Emily, in order to protect his little daughter from potential dangers, built a robot called the security puppet. I actually have a video about this on the channel. He then gave his daughter a green bracelet and programmed the puppet to protect the child with the green bracelet. The sole purpose of building this robot was to protect Henry's daughter, Charlie Emily. However, on a rainy day, while Charlie was playing with her friends, for some unknown reason she was left outside and the doors were locked. Seeing the other children laughing at her, you might think it was a prank. So, where was the security puppet? Why wasn't it helping Charlie? Because it was stuck inside a gift box. On that rainy day, a purple-colored car came up behind Charlie, and out came the main villain of our story, the Purple Guy, William Afton. This man killed his partner's daughter on the spot, dragged her behind the building, and then left. Afterwards, the puppet somehow escaped from the box and went to help Charlie. But when it arrived, the only thing it found was her lifeless body. Because of the rain, the puppet got wet, malfunctioned, and collapsed on top of Charlie's body. At that moment, Charlie's soul entered the puppet. So, the puppet we see in the second game is actually Charlie Emily. But why did William kill Charlie? To find the answer, we need to look at the 5 Nights at Freddy's book series. In the books, it said that William killed children to obtain a substance called remnant. So, what is remnant? Remnant is a substance, somewhere between a liquid and a gas, that allows a person to continue existing even without their organs. Remember, its only weakness is high heat. Of course, it's also said that William did this because he was sadistic or jealous of his partner, but to me, the most logical theory is the remnant one. Later on, William opened a restaurant called Circus Baby's Pizza World, building more entertaining animatronics to attract children. Here, he continued killing children to gather more remnant. He also had major problems with his own family. William had 3 children, Mike, Elizabeth, and the unnamed crying child. Elizabeth's name isn't certain either, it's just a theory. The strongest theory about the crying child's name comes from a riddle in the survival logbook, suggesting it's Evan. But since the books and games take place in different universes, we'll just call him Crying Child. William built a sweet animatronic named Circus Baby, designed to lure and kidnap children. Circus Baby had a giant mouth in her stomach, made specifically to trap kids. Of course, people didn't know she had such a mouth. Elizabeth loved Circus Baby. I mean, what little girl wouldn't? But William strictly told her to stay away from it. Elizabeth didn't listen. And you can guess what happened, Circus Baby grabbed her and killed her. Afterwards, Circus Baby's eye color changed from blue to green, Elizabeth's eye color. Just like Charlie, Elizabeth's soul now resided in the animatronic. After Elizabeth's death, Mike and the crying child were left alone at home. Michael would play traumatic pranks on his younger brother. His last prank ruined everyone's lives. Michael and his friends, for fun, shoved the crying child into Fredbear's mouth. Normally, they thought the mouth wouldn't close. But that night, the animatronics were in robot mode, so Fredbear's jaw suddenly snapped shut. The crying child was taken to intensive care. One theory says he fell into a coma and began having nightmares. These nightmares are the events we see in FNAF 4. Some animatronics in the fourth game have giant mouths in their chests, which sparked the theory that the crying child saw Elizabeth's death and remembered it. Not certain, of course. The crying child spent 5 nights in a coma before dying. His soul then entered Fredbear's body, the same one we see as Golden Freddy in the first game. However, another soul is said to inhabit Golden Freddy, Cassidy. Cassidy was one of the children William killed and held a deep grudge against the purple guy. Cassidy appears in the survival logbook, and in a FNAF 3 minigame, the child wearing the Golden Freddy mask is said to be Cassidy. Of course, it could also be the crying child, but my guess is Cassidy. One theory says that Golden Freddy's body houses both the crying child and Cassidy. Don't ask how, it just does. Chronologically, our second game is Sister Location. William sends his son Mike to an underground facility called Circus Baby's Entertainment and Rental to find his sister. This was the underground part of Circus Baby's Pizza World. Mike spends 5 nights there before being trapped and captured by Circus Baby. He's then taken to a place called the Scooper Room. There, we meet Ennard, a robot formed by combining parts of other animatronics from Sister Location. The voice speaking is thought to be Baby's, but it's actually Ennard using her voice capabilities. The Scooper tears Michael apart. Does he die? No. One theory says Michael's organs are removed and replaced with remnant. Ennard then climbs inside him. Michael survives for a while before throwing Ennard up into the sewers. Meanwhile, the purple guy continues killing children and hiding their bodies inside the animatronics. The puppet releases the souls of these children. Michael, after learning about all this, starts working under fake names in various restaurants to erase the evidence of his father's crimes. But he gets fired from 2 of them. These events are exactly what we see in the first and second games. Of course, after so many murders, the restaurants shut down. But William doesn't stop, he goes back to an abandoned restaurant. When he sees the animatronics moving, he destroys them. But the puppet releases all the souls inside them. These souls corner William, who then makes the biggest mistake of his life by putting on the old spring Bonnie suit. The spring locks fail and close on him, killing him. This is how Springtrap was created, with William's soul trapped inside. You might ask, why did the spring locks fail? Because the place was extremely humid and wet, which caused the suit to malfunction. Years later, an unknown person reopens the place as a horror attraction. Michael returns there to find his father. You already know what happens. The events of FNAF 3 are exactly this part. At the end of the game, Michael burns down the whole place, leaving Springtrap to die, but William's soul still wasn't destroyed. Not even the fire could stop him. After this, here's what you need to know. After the fire, Springtrap's remains became Scraptrap, Ennard's remains became Molten Freddy, and the puppet's remains became Lefty. These are the characters we see in the 6th game. This restaurant was also opened by Henry, Emily, and Michael Afton. You might ask, why did Henry open a restaurant again? Because he wanted revenge on William and to free the souls in the animatronics. Henry Emily then lured all the souls into one restaurant to finish his plan. The place's lights were turned off, it was locked from the outside, and eventually a fire was started. In this fire, the children's souls finally found peace. William Afton was consumed by the flames and sent to eternal torment. But still, he didn't die. He was trapped in an endless hell by Cassidy. In Ultimate Custom Night, you can rarely see Cassidy as a hallucination. The reason is that Cassidy is the one who trapped William there. William was supposed to remain there forever, but somehow he transitioned from a physical form to a digital one, becoming a virus known as Glitchtrap. He began mentally possessing people, which meant he didn't die, he moved to another dimension. The rabbit we see in Help Wanted is also William himself. What happened after this isn't fully known, but suddenly we jump to security breach. In this new era, a massive entertainment complex called the Mega Pizzaplex was opened. A young boy named Gregory was trapped inside with Glamrock Freddy. But underground, another form of William Afton, Burntrap, was hiding. He still wasn't dead. Gregory and Glamrock Freddy fought to stop this new threat. The story here is still open-ended. William's influence in this universe continues. Even though the souls have found peace, his shadow refuses to vanish. Normally, the main Five Nights at Freddy's storyline ended with the 6th game, and the events after that are more like side stories. And there you have it, the complete Five Nights at Freddy's universe. I hope I've been able to present this complex yet fascinating story with all its details. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.